This is a true story. From the very first week I moved into that house, the landlord gave me only one rule: never open the basement door, no matter what you hear. So tell me, when I heard my mom's voice calling me in the middle of the night, even though she's been dead for 7 years, what would you have done? First thing my landlord told me when I moved in wasn't welcome. It was, never open the basement door, no matter what you hear. Last night, I heard my mother calling my name from down there. The problem is, she's been dead for 7 years. After my divorce, I moved to a small, quiet town in Pennsylvania. The rent was dirt cheap. The house was old but charming. 2 creaky floors, a wraparound porch, and a yard that backed into a wall of woods. My landlord, Mr. Collins, was a man in his late 60s. His pale blue eyes had this way of locking on you like he was staring through you. He didn't give me much of a tour, just pointed out the kitchen, the upstairs bedroom, and then stopped at a black painted door at the end of the hallway. 3 heavy locks bolted it shut. That's when he gave the warning, voice low, tone deadly serious. No matter what you hear, don't open this door. I thought maybe it was just a weird old man thing. Every small town has its quirks. The first week passed quietly. I unpacked, settled into working from home, and ignored the basement entirely. Until that second Friday night. I was halfway through a rerun of The Twilight Zone when I heard it. 3 slow knocks, echoing from under the floorboards. I muted the TV, holding my breath. Nothing. I convinced myself it was just the old pipes, even though the knocks had been too perfect. 2 nights later, I woke at 3:17 a.m. to the sound of footsteps coming up the basement stairs. Slow, heavy, uneven, like someone with a limp. Then came the voice. "Daniel, it's cold down here. Can you open the door?" It was my mom's voice. And I knew it wasn't possible, not just because she was dead, but because that exact sentence was something she used to say when the furnace broke in the winter. I reached for my phone to call the landlord, but my battery was dead. It had been fully charged when I went to bed. The next morning, I marched over to Mr. Collins' place. When I told him what I'd heard, he didn't even flinch. He just shook his head slowly and said, "It's not her. Don't answer it, not if you value your soul." When I pressed him, all he said was, "Something lives down there. It borrows voices." I laughed it off in front of him, but inside, my stomach turned cold. That night, curiosity gnawed at me. I sat on the floor by the basement door, ear pressed to the wood. At 2:45 a.m., the knocks returned. Only this time, they were coming from my side of the door. The locks rattled. One by one, they clicked open, and I wasn't touching them. The door inched forward, just enough for a freezing draft to spill out, and in that narrow gap I saw her face. Except her eyes were too black, too wide. She smiled, a slow, unnatural stretch of lips, and whispered, "You've been lonely. I can stay with you now." A long, thin hand shot out, icy and wet, latching onto my wrist. I screamed, wrenched free, and slammed the door shut. The locks clicked back into place by themselves. When I woke up this morning, all 3 locks were gone. The basement door was wide open. And from upstairs, I heard footsteps in my kitchen, pacing slowly. Someone was humming my mother's favorite song. I didn't stay. I grabbed my keys, my wallet, and ran before sunrise. Now I'm in a cheap motel 2 towns over. The cops said the basement was empty. No sign of forced entry, but Mr. Collins, he's missing. Last night, in this motel, someone knocked on my door. Then my mom's voice whispered, "Daniel, it's cold out here. If your landlord ever tells you not to open a certain door, would you listen? Or would curiosity get the better of you? Tell me in the comments. If you think this is the scariest landlord story you've ever heard, wait until you hear about the tenant who found something living inside her walls. That's in the next episode.